Hello, everybody. I'm that one nerd, Jacob.
And I'm that one Scott Collins.
Welcome back to episode 15 of Those Nerds on a Podcast. Woo, yeah!
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
half of 30.
True. And 30's half of 60. And 60's half of 120. And 120's half of 240. And 240's half of 480. And 480's half of 960. And 960 is half of 1980, and 1980 is half of 30. Wait, no.
3,960.
And 3960 is okay. I'm done with that bit. I fucking can't.
3960 divided by 52 would be 76 years of us doing this podcast.
Just in the fucking nursing home. Just the both of us in a nursing home, just like, nurse, can you bring me my medicine?
This week on my Nerd Out, I will be talking about how this Jello is bustin'.
Oh, sorry, I shit my pants in the middle of that.
The kids today will never appreciate Wii Sports Resort. That's the greatest game of all time.
Oh my god.
The old people in our nursing homes are going to be playing Minecraft and Fortnite. You do know that, right?
Yeah, I do. I 100% know that. Like, we are gonna all, like, instead of nursing homes having, like, a cable box in every single room, they're just gonna have whatever the latest console is. Maybe not the latest, but, like, the gen before it that's still supported.
I'm teaching my grandkids how to hit the gritty.
You see, kids, you have to right foot creep walking with that heater.
What, Grandpa? What's a heater?
Right. You wouldn't know what that is. Now,
Kids today.
and see, the thing is, which heater are we talking about? Air heater or the heater?
You see, is the heater a gun? Because
Yes.
where I come from,
Yes.
yeah. You see, son, this is the greatest firearm known to man, the Glock 40.
God damn. Oh.
There's a good chance the Glock 40 will be our generation's 1911. 1911. 1911.
Oh,
1911.
All right, well, it's been a good run on this podcast. Thank you all for sticking with us for 15 episodes. Goodbye.
No. I haven't started this generation's 9/11.
Started? Are you going to be the one to cause it?
Probably in some weird indirect way.
Just like Kermit caused 9/11, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna accidentally bump into the guy and he's just like,
The Pentagon's going down again.
I'm gonna make it a fucking trapezoid. They turned the Pentagon into a trapezoid, Morty.
Government, these are all jokes. These are all jokes. Please, this is all a joke.
I don't know. You seem a little desperate there, Jacob. Maybe they should take you specifically in for questioning.
No. No. No.
FBI, open up!
Also, even though nobody cares, this is the first time that we're recording a podcast the day before it uploads.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have one of my friends on this past weekend. Saturday wound up falling through because I got a weird stomach ache and migraine. So I pinged both of them. And I'm like, hey, are y'all good for Sunday? Caleb's immediately just like, yeah, I just, once I get back from church, I'm free for the day. So I'm like, fuck yeah. And then the guest that was supposed to be on did not respond ever. And like, it's one thing if messages get buried. My server is not popping off that hard to where the message is going to get buried under so many other messages that you don't want to scroll through to find it. So like, I don't know. Probably for the future, once we get through the list, we're just gonna start handpicking guests instead of a list. Cause
Let's
that
see.
we also see how that worked out with 2 of the guests that I had to take off the list.
Let's see, which of these fuckers do I actually like? None of them.
No
The
more
next
guests.
Next week's guest will be a physical potato.
Dude, can we get a potato on the podcast?
We can.
10 likes and we will get a potato on the podcast. 10 likes might not sound like much, but we only average 20 views on this podcast, which might not sound like much, but we only have 9 subscribers.
If half of you guys watch the thing and like it,
I love how this is only talking about YouTube as well. I have no idea what our...
if we get 10 dislikes, I'll eat the potato. Live!
Oh my god. Raw potato murder!
Live on YouTube, Spotify. Are we on Apple Music yet?
No. Every time I think I have the $20 to put towards putting it on Apple, some bullshit bill comes up that I completely forget about, and then I no longer have the $20.
Looks like we're gonna just have to, you know.
Hey man,
$20.
Yeah,
$20 is $20.
$20, you know. Oh, he's dead. Oh my god. Okay, so speaking of Saturday though, did you watch Backlash? I'm assuming you did, because so many people were watching it on my dad's account that I had to make my own account.
Is that why that account thing was like messing up?
Probably, because you can only watch with up to 3 people at a time, so it was probably my dad, you, and Chris. So I'm just like, fuck it, it's $5. I made my own account. I'm just gonna say this straight out. The Puerto Rican street fight should have been like the main event. It should not have been like the pre-main event. It should have been the main event.
To be fair, I did not expect that match to be as good as it was.
I did. They had to pander to their audience. So it was 2 Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico in a Puerto Rican street fight. You have Hispanic and other Latino wrestlers that come in that are very popular in Puerto Rico. Like, the pop that Carlito got is similar to how Americans used to pop for Hulk Hogan. For Carlito. Don't get me wrong.
I love in the face of people who aren't cool.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Carlito. Like, he was one of my favorites as a kid growing up. And man is looking great now. Like...
Does that mean he's coming back?
I mean, he had a brief run right in the middle of, I think, the Thunderdome era. Because he came back at Royal Rumble 2021, I think, and had like a 2 or 3 month run and then left the company. I hope it was more than just a one-off thing. I would love him to join the Latino World Order since, you know, he was wearing their shirt whenever he stormed the ring. So, like, I would love to see that. But, unfortunately, I think it was mostly just to pander to the audience a little bit.
Yeah, thanks, wrestling.
I mean, yeah, definitely. But, like, dude, that match... Bad Bunny has no right to go as hard in the ring as he does. Like, he is definitely one of the best celebrity wrestlers I have ever seen.
I thought that as a celebrity wrestler, Bad Bunny was okay. But being a celebrity wrestler and being able to pull out a good match that lasts longer than 15 minutes is a hard thing to do.
Especially
for anybody.
A street fight match.
So when the match went longer than 15 minutes, I was like, oh boy. And then it kept getting good. I was like, what? I was like, this match is still going?
Dude. Like, if anybody that watches wrestling wasn't sold on Bad Bunny before Backlash, they fucking better be now. Like, dude is actually genuinely good.
That being said, I did like the Cody Brock match.
I did too, but again, it just didn't feel like it lived up to the hype of the Puerto Rican street fight. And I understand that Triple H was probably just trying to do the safe move, and have, you know, the match that he knows all the international viewers would want to watch go on last. I totally get that. Like, from a business standpoint, he made the right move, but from a match quality standpoint, it was not the right move.
Not only that, but the co-main event was supposed to be Kevin and Sammy, and then Bad Bunny, and then Damian as like the co-main events. But you had third, second, and then last, and I was just like,
Yeah.
what, that's not a. Those other two aren't main events. They were third and second to last. This is the main event. You can't trick me.
Yeah,
I'm not some pleb.
Co-main event definitely should have insinuated that it's the second to last match and then the last match, not third to last match. Oh, hey, here's, you know, 6-man tag match and then main event.
I literally sat there after the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens match, and then I was like, Cody still hasn't wrestled. And she went, oh, it's it.
Yeah.
Because we were both under the impression that match was going to be the last match.
But, like, also, I feel like the 6-man tag match was really good, but just where it got positioned in the card, it kind of got shafted by such an incredible match beforehand, and then people still trying to save their energy for the main event. That match got shafted on the card. Like, so bad. But yeah. Overall,
I didn't like the Bianca Belair match.
I know, which is weird because Bianca Belair's matches are normally really good, but
But,
for some
like,
reason this one just didn't do it
didn't.
for me.
I did not like that match at all. The Rhea Ripley match was amazing.
Oh, dude.
The
yes.
soul-crushing defeat where it looks like she's about to counter the Riptide again, and then Rhea just said, "Stop," and then fucking did it, and it was just like, oh. And then Charity thought she was going to kick out, and then she didn't. And the whole crowd thought she was going to kick out. It was literally, you could hear the crowd, 1, 2. It was like, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
And then, like, the Triple Threat United States Championship match, that was pretty good, but the ending was very lackluster.
Yeah, I think it was a little. Triple threat matches always have a thing where you can have really good beginnings and endings, but sometimes the ending just doesn't stick as well as you thought it would.
Yeah,
because usually it's like these other two guys are getting pinned, and then the third guy is over in the corner with his dick in his hand, like, oh.
Right, it's like, oh, this is my cue.
And it's hard to coordinate that in a fashion that's not a little strange sometimes. I like a really good triple threat for me is the AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose versus John Cena for the WWE title, because the ending was a really good match, and then AJ just goes in with chairs and just decimates both of them and then pins John.
Dude, the prime example of an amazing triple threat match, WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton,
yes,
and was Batista, right?
Yes, it was
because Daniel Bryan had to defend against Triple H at the beginning of the night. And then, but yeah, that is a prime example of how you should do a triple threat match.
Another prime example of a triple threat match would be 10 years earlier. WrestleMania 20.
I know, I'm trying to remember the match card for 20.
Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Chris Benoit.
Ah, that's why I don't remember it. Vince McMahon wiped it from my memory. Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. That is another example of a very well done triple threat match. Shut the fuck up, Twitch. Okay, sorry.
But I'm streaming on Twitch.tv.
Just look over and see Caleb just streaming the podcast. But like not even the actual podcast stream, just like a shitty phone setup just of his face. Just like, yeah. So no one's even hearing my points or anything. It's just Caleb talking to himself with awkwardly long pauses in the middle.
It's a stream of a potato, and then my half of the conversation is going on in the background.
Not the potato! Oh, man. So you want to know one thing that sucked about this weekend, aside from the stomach and headache?
No potatoes?
Our air conditioning was out.
Oh, no!
It was the first 90-plus degree weekend in Oklahoma.
Oh, no!
We had a swivel fan and a box fan in the bedroom, and it was barely enough to cool us off. Like, I'm sorry if it's TMI. I was just laying there in my boxers the whole time. I could not bear having any extra clothes on me unless I knew we were going to be leaving the apartment. It was just that uncomfortable to be in. And with how humid it was outside, ugh.
I get humidity, man. The air is soup down here in Georgia.
Dude, like today at work, I walked outside and it felt like I actually walked into a waterfall. It was awful. I also got the key to my job today. I am about to start running Tuesdays all by myself soon, and I am both excited and absolutely horrified.
Well, it's okay. You probably won't fuck it up.
Yeah, the car wash probably won't blow up.
Now, what could go wrong?
I could forget to turn off the air compressors at the end of the night, and then they could blow up.
Yeah, that could happen.
Nah, I haven't done that yet. We're good. Yeah. Dude, speaking of work, on Monday, I'm used to going in Mondays at 10 a.m., right? Every other day of the week I open, so I'm like, okay, yeah, this is my one day. And I could have sworn I saw on the schedule, it still said 10 a.m. So I'm like, okay, I set my alarms for 8 a.m.
Yes.
I wake up to see 2 missed calls and a voicemail. I look at the schedule, I was supposed to be there at 7:30. I call back, and I'm just immediately like, dude, I am so sorry. I looked at the schedule wrong. I've gotten myself so used to going into work at 10. I'm getting dressed right now. I will be there immediately. I get ready in 3 minutes. And Caleb, you know how I am. Audience, I'm sorry you guys have to hear this, but I take notoriously long morning shits. I'm talking 20 to 30 minutes, or multiple 10 to 15 minute shits. So I'm sorry to have cursed your knowledge with that to anybody watching or listening, but so yeah, for me to be able to get ready in 3 minutes and then speed to work, I did like 80 to 85 in a 60 to 65 mile per hour highway the whole way there. Luckily I didn't even have to shit once until I got home. But
the phantom shit.
But dude, like, I have never had that much of a heart attack from being late for something aside from whenever I was in high school. And they were like, yep, we're loading the bus for SATs at 7:50. And I woke up that day at 7:50. Luckily, Manford always runs behind on everything. The bus didn't leave until like 8. So we were good, but...
I remember one time I was late for work, and with my line of work, you don't get written up, you get the dog shit smoked out of you. I remember, and the thing is that I was already upset because I had slept through my alarm and stuff, and it was actually Combatives Day.
Oh
So
no.
I do jujitsu on my own time. Now I'm literally getting paid to go and practice jujitsu. And
Yeah.
so I was so upset that I was late. Anyway, afterwards I was doing lunges across the 100-yard parking lot over and over and over again.
Oh
And
no.
when I finally got there, and yeah, that was not fun.
Dude, that does not sound fun at all. Like, I already hate doing lunges, especially with, like, my left foot, since that's the foot that got cut with an axe. I can't bend my toes the way you're supposed to for lunges.
Hmm.
So, like, I can only do a half lunge on one side, which sucks and pisses me off. But having to do that over 100 yards?
Yeah.
Yikes. That, ugh. Ugh.
And have you ever played light poles?
No.
Basically, if your NCO is like mad, he'll be like, sprint to that light pole and back. And then he'll have like an imaginary time in his head, and he'll be like, you weren't fast enough. Sprint to that light pole and back.
Oh, so I have played that. It's called soccer. No, but seriously, anytime like we were practicing and we didn't do something like the coach would want, he would actually make a sprint to a light pole and back and then do the bullshit. That didn't meet the time I was looking for. Do it again. So yeah, I actually know exactly what you're talking about then.
Little did we know the hint that you were bisexual was in front of us all along.
The
You
fact
played
that I played
soccer.
soccer.
Yeah, yes, of course. It was sitting in front of me all these years. How could I not see?
The thing that's hilarious about it though is like I still have my soccer calves, right? Like my
Uh-huh.
legs are still really fucking defined from soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I'm actually wearing shorts at work instead of jeans, coworkers have been seeing my legs
Mm-hmm.
and they're just like, "Holy fuck, how did you get those big of calves?" I'm like,
Got a
about
couple of
3 years, about
hams.
3 years of soccer. That's how I got these calves. And like it's an inside joke among the managers now that I have some really nice calves. And it's an even bigger inside joke that one of the managers is down bad for my calves. I remember one day, one of the managers, Dan, he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna put some chicken wire around your legs so that way Joe can't get to them." And Joe just says over the walkie, "You idiot! That's just gonna make me want them more."
Hot damn, Joe.
But I think that's one of the main reasons I'm so deceptively fast is because I used to play soccer. Because like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes if I have to like sprint somewhere at the car wash too, last week I was sprinting because I had to run from one end of the other or one end to the other because it was raining and I didn't want to get wet. So I sprinted and the cashier was inside. I guess saw me through the window. She's like, "Did you run track in high school or something?" I'm like, "No, soccer." She's like, "That explains a lot because that is a like coordinated run. That is not just a random run." Safe to say, I still got
Oh yeah. Mhm.
it.
I just got to thinking it'd be a really fun like video idea is if I made you take an ACFT.
Oh, that sounds amazing but awful. Tell me more.
So an ACFT is an Army Combat Fitness Test.
Oh no.
So what we would do is that I don't want to make you try and max out the ACFT. That would be stupid.
Yeah, I would actually die.
Well, unless you can deadlift 340 pounds 3 times, we're already out of the gate. I can do that. I always max out that part. But if you what? So so your age, so you're 20, are you 22 yet?
Yeah, I'm 22.
So you're in the 22 to 26 age bracket. We would have to get you to deadlift 140 pounds 3 times.
I think I could do that.
You would have to throw a 10-pound medicine ball behind your head for 6.3 meters.
Wait. So are we talking like I chuck it backwards or I go behind my head and then...
So, like, you take it and you throw it that way.
Okay. And how far did you say?
If you can get 6.3 is the minimum.
And 6.3 in America units is...
In British units.
No, you said 6.3
6.3
meters.
meters.
I need to know what meters is in America.
20 feet. 20 feet.
10 pounds? That actually doesn't sound too bad. That doesn't... I feel like I could throw a medicine ball 20 feet. And I'm assuming that means without roll, right? Like it has to actually fly 20 feet.
It's thwump. And then the max for that is 13 meters. I get
about 40 feet.
Yeah, I get about 11 meters every time.
Yeah, see, I feel like I could probably hit 20. Definitely not 40.
Next is the hand release push-ups. Basically, you lower yourself to the ground, and then you extend your arms all the way out, and then you come back in.
See, the thing that sucks with that, I can't actually do a push-up position anymore because of my toe.
Well, do you think you can crank out 10 of these?
No! I would try to do one and fall flat on my nose.
Yeah, just do it with one foot.
You know what? Hang on. I'll let you know how this goes. Oh
no.
It's a good thing I learned how to face bump.
Dude.
I barely got my hands off the ground and just immediately...
You're supposed to lower your chest all the way down to the ground and then do that. Like you're supposed to rest on the ground as you're doing that.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Did you just try to keep your chest up and slide out at the same time?
Oh, I didn't try to slide. I tried to throw my arms out and back in.
You tried to fucking Superman that shit? Oh my god, no! Oh my god. No wonder you face planted. I was just like, oh! So, you think you can do that 10 times?
I just did 10 reps of that. I can do that.
Okay. The max for that is 61. I get
what the fuck? I'm hurting after 10 of those.
Yeah, they suck because you can't use your own momentum to sort of ride the push-ups like you could in the old version.
Yeah, because like putting your arms out, you lose that momentum and then you just...
I can get between 35 and 40 of those most of the time in the 2-minute window. What? Next is the sprint drag carry. So the sprint drag carry is you have 25 meters, you sprint across, you sprint back, you grab a sled that has 90 pounds in it, you drag it the 25 meters, you drag it back, and then you do a sideways shuffle the 25 meters and back, and then you pick up 40-pound dumbbells on each hand, you carry that across, you carry it back, and then you do one more sprint, and then you do one more sprint back.
I feel like I could do it, but I would definitely be breathing very heavily.
Yes, a lot of people are. The minimum requirement is 2 minutes and 31 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but the maximum for this is 130. 130. 1 minute, 30 seconds. So it's like There's like a lot of variation in time.
See, I just
Like
have a shit concept of time, so.
it feels like a fucking long time while you're doing it. Don't get me wrong. Same thing with the next one, the plank.
Oh no. See, that's another thing. I don't know if I could actually hold a plank now because of my toe.
The plank is 1 minute and 25 seconds for the minimum.
Oh hell
And
no! Oh hell no! 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 You can't make me! You can't make me!
Would you like to hear the maximum for the full 100 points?
3 minutes 30 seconds.
Actually, yeah, 3:35.
Fuck yeah, I'm good. I'm goated with the sauce.
Nice. And then the last one is a 2-mile run.
I used to do that all the time back whenever I played soccer. That was like, that was once a week. We would always do a 2-mile run.
If you can do the 2-mile run in 22 minutes, you pass. If you want 100 points, you have to do it in 13 minutes and 27 seconds.
Okay, well, I will say this. Me and Summer, now that it's warming up, we've been trying to go on walks and stuff. This past Saturday, before I got home and nauseous and everything, we went on a walk. We did 2 miles just walking in about 35 minutes. So I feel like if I'm running at a moderate pace, I could hit 22.
I usually get around 19 minutes myself, which is not very fast by Army standards. A lot of people heard that and physically cringed if they were in any sort of military branch.
And see, here I am being like, oh yeah, 19 minutes. That's not bad, bro. Good job.
Somewhere out there is an E7 who's retired, and he just heard, yeah, 19 minutes, that's not bad. And he just died inside. He looked over at his whiskey and he's like, tonight, old friend.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. You have a civilian friend to make you feel good about yourself.
I got this one captain. So it's on a 100-point system, and you try to, the minimum you can get is a 360. You don't want that. You want this full 600, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get around a 450 to a 480 is mine. There's a captain who I train with every day who has a 597.
Oh, fuck!
Captain Smith can do everything I just said almost perfectly for the full 100 points. Almost every event.
Damn. I am actually interested to try and do that though. Like, that feels like, not just would it be a fun, YouTube video, but I feel like it would just be a fun way to test my current bodily limits.
And yeah, whenever, I don't know if you know who the hell David Goggins is, but apparently Captain Smith is a big fan of David Goggins, because whenever Captain Smith starts getting tired in a workout, he just goes, who's gonna carry the boats? Who's gonna carry the boats? And then he gets like 3 more reps, and I'm just like,
Jesus Christ.
He's like, you're not even a SEAL. You don't carry boats. What are you talking about?
Oh, man.
But yeah. It's one of those things. So yeah, if we get enough comments on this if we get enough comments just saying do it, Jake will do it. ACFT.
At least 5 comments from 5 different people.
Oh, I was just gonna spam do it over and over again in the YouTube.
And it also has to be whenever Caleb visits Oklahoma or I visit Georgia, because I am not doing this shit solo.
There's not do it, and us doing it is a wide margin of time.
That's true. We're just gonna be at my fucking bachelor party, and you're gonna be like, okay, Jake, let's get this shit going.
I brought you some PTs. Here we go.
Damn. Well,
what's our time at?
We're at 35 minutes somehow. We've already gotten halfway through the podcast, and we've just been kind of bullshitting. I do have a nerd out though.
Okay.
I am ready. You ready for this?
I am so ready for this.
All right, nerd out. Listen, Vigi games. I nerded out last week about Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, which you should still fucking get, by the way. But this Friday, probably one of the most anticipated games of the year, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, comes out. It preloaded itself on my Switch over the weekend. And the amount of excitement that rushed over me was like, as soon as I saw it on the home screen, I'm just like, oh, oh, oh. And I am going to be completely honest. I never got around to beating Breath of the Wild. It is just that expansive of a game. It is that much of a time sink. Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Ah. I have just sort of skipped ahead to the final boss battle because you don't really have to have any special requirements. You can just sort of go in there and fight them.
Isn't the whole point of the game is to go over there and beat him eventually?
Yeah, you're supposed to build yourself up and eventually beat him. I was just like, fuck it. One day I just walked up to the castle. I'm like, fight me, Ganon, with only 5 heart containers. Maybe an extra quarter slice to my stamina bar. I'm like, let's go, Ganon! And you could probably imagine how well that worked.
You won.
It did not work at all. But yeah, I'm very excited for Tears of the Kingdom, and I wish I would have kind of spaced out my single player streams a little bit better, because I really want to play Tears of the Kingdom on stream. I want to do it so bad, but it's either going to be at the cost of Majora's Mask, or a homies night, or a viewers night. So like, those are 3 things. Like, obviously, I enjoy including viewers in my streams. And then obviously, I like playing games with my friends on stream. And then obviously, the whole point of the community challenge wheel spin last month was that the community got to pick the next game that I played on stream. So if I threw out Majora's Mask, that would kind of be like spitting in their face a little bit. So my hands are tied. I can't play it on stream, but good God, do I want to. I want to play it on stream so bad and just experience it live. God damn. I'm so looking forward to this game. I am so looking forward to this game. It's gonna be beautiful. Breath of the Wild was beautiful, by Switch standards, of course.
It'll be the most beautiful Legend of Zelda game to ever exist.
But yeah, like, it looked great compared to Switch standards. The story was amazing, the gameplay was amazing, and that can be compared just among, any other console. It's really just the graphics that kind of hold it back from being compared to all the other games. But I don't play games for graphics. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before. A game can have the shittiest graphics known to mankind, but as long as the gameplay is fun, as long as the story's good, and as long as it has a soundtrack that I can at least kind of enjoy, I will play the game and probably complete it.
You know one game that had terrible graphics but took the internet by storm? Undertale.
I wouldn't say that's terrible graphics because that's retro. That's designed.
It's 32-bit. 32-bit bad graphics.
See, it was designed to be that way. I'm talking like, if you release a game on a PS5 with PS1 level graphics and you didn't mean for them to be that bad, that's just the effort you put into it, but then the game's amazing other than that overall, I don't give a shit, I'ma play it. Right? You know a game that had kind of bad graphics but the story was amazing? Iron Lung. Go watch Iron Lung by Markiplier in theaters I don't know when. Yeah. Anyway, I love The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Wii U, Wii U, Wii U.
You haven't even played it yet!
You don't have to play a game to know you love it. Just like you don't have to play Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp to know you love it. Buy it on Switch today, $59.99 before tax.
I'm dead. Now have you killed me twice?
My nerd out's done. But dude, okay, you can design 50 maps per save file. I've already filled out 20 of the 50 slots. Are you good?
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's
It's okay.
alive! Yay!
Sorry, I tried to like use my legs to like get up back in the chair and start pushing the chair backwards. I was like, oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no. I'm gonna mess up my sleep schedule. Oh no.
Oh god.
Anyway, you've activated my trump card.
No fucking way. Ow. That hurt. I don't know if y'all heard that.
What do you remember about your first day of school each year? Did you have a special lunchbox or backpack? Who was your favorite teacher?
Okay, so I can definitely remember like kindergarten and first grade.
Mm-hmm.
Second and third are kind of a blur. Then
Mm-hmm.
I remember fourth through sixth. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Seventh grade, I remember. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, this is going to be a long one. Kindergarten. My teacher was Miss Capshaw at Rosa
Mm-hmm.
Parks Elementary School, a union
Mm-hmm.
school. I used to go to Union as a kid. And in case anybody doesn't know what Union is basically like a college size school in Tulsa. Like, Union
You.
is very large. They just rebuilt their football stadium, and dude, it looks like you could actually host college games in it. That's how many people it seats. So I went to Union. I remember in kindergarten, people called her Miss Cap Shop, and that made me very angry because I'm like, no, her name is Miss Cap Shaw. There's no P. There's no P. Um, and I remember being very excited on my first day of kindergarten. Just
Miscaption.
miscaption. Just because, you know, preschool, the teachers literally said I was too smart and did not allow me to come back. No, I'm being dead serious. Like, they ended my school year in pre-K like in February. They were just like, yeah, no, he doesn't need to be here. Take him. So I think that's why I was excited, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm better than these fuckers.
You couldn't have just bumped him up to kindergarten?
That's a great question. They wasted a year of my life. I could have graduated a
You
whole
and
year
I,
earlier.
you and I could have been in the same grade.
We could have been.
We could have been in the same grade.
All right, do you remember kindergarten?
No.
Okay, so moving on. First grade, Miss Lafreniere. Um, I remember my first day being kind of sad because the way Rosa Parks Elementary was lined up, the kindergarten and first grade wing shared a wing, but like had separate classes. And Miss
Mm.
Lafreniere's classroom was right next to Miss Capshaw. And again, I really enjoyed kindergarten, so I'm like, oh, I want her to be my teacher. Yeah, that's about all I remember of first grade. Do you remember first grade?
No.
Okay, I don't remember second grade. Do you remember second grade?
No.
All right. I don't remember third grade. Do you remember third grade?
No.
Okay, so fourth grade. My first day was still at Rosa Parks Elementary, but this was also the year that I moved to New Mexico and went to Dixon Elementary. And in case anybody doesn't know where Dixon, New Mexico is, you are not alone, because the only thing that that town has is a post office, a community market, a library slash radio station, which nobody listens to, and an elementary school. That is all that is in Dixon, New Mexico. Like, I very badly want to go back just to be in that really small town environment again. But anyway, fourth grade, I started off in Rosa Parks Elementary, and I learned that one of the girls that I went to school with had a crush on me. You want to know how I found out? Roblox. So I remember the end of third grade, we were talking about it. I was like, yeah, I became friends with this one person in a random online lobby named Zappy08. And she's like, no, wait. And I hate that I still remember the username, by the way. And she's like, no, wait, that's me. And then over the summer we talked. And you want to know where she admitted she liked me? This is another cringe detail I remember. A Sweet Life on Deck roleplay world on Roblox. And then I remember the first day we wanted to make absolutely sure that we sat next to each other, but this was also whenever I knew I was moving. I was only going to be there for the first month of school. So my first day was meeting the girl that admitted she had a crush on me on a Sweet Life on Deck roleplay room in Roblox.
Oh,
Savannah, if you're watching, what the fuck? I hate that I remember all those little details about it too. Like I could have just left it at, oh yeah, she admitted she liked me on Roblox, but the fact that I remembered the exact username, the exact world that it was in.
so I don't remember my first day of fourth grade.
Well, that's what the question here is.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay. First year or first day of fifth grade. This was whenever I was really starting to get into the mode of, oh my god, I really love school. Uh, and my teacher's name was Miss Gonzalez. And Dixon Elementary, it's so small. Whenever I was there, first of all, kindergarten through sixth grade is considered elementary school. Like sixth grade is not middle school in New Mexico. So through all 7 grades, the school only had 80 students. Big fat 80. So kindergarten had their own, then it was first and second, third and fourth, and then fifth and sixth. So I was in a class with the sixth graders. And my first day, I remember very well because it was after the summer where I got bullied pretty hard. And I just wanted to avoid everybody. Like even friends that I had the entirety of the last year, I did not want to talk to. So my first day of fifth grade was me keeping to myself because of people that I tried to hang out with that just bullied the ever loving shit out of me. Depression. All right. Do you remember fifth grade?
No.
All right, sixth grade. Kind of the same thing as fifth grade. Again, Miss Gonzalez because fifth and sixth grade were combined. But I didn't get bullied over the summer just because I stayed inside and played Minecraft with my friends all summer like a sane sixth grader would. Um, so I think I was just a little more excited to see people in person again because again, Dixon's a very small town and it's also a very poor town. So there were no neighborhoods or anything. It was just one house followed by empty land for maybe half a mile and then another house. So I didn't get to actually go and like hang out with friends over the summer. So I was just excited to see everybody in person again. Do you remember sixth grade?
No.
Okay. So, first day of seventh grade. Seventh grade was also the year that I moved back to Oklahoma and went to Pawnee Middle School. But the beginning of seventh grade year, I still lived in New Mexico, and I went to a half online, half in-person school called Taos Academy. The first day was weird because obviously, since it's an online school, it's not a traditional school. Every desk has a computer at it. Every single desk. And it was less than a school and more of like a giant X storage facility. I guess is a way. I mean, not giant, because since it was only seventh and eighth grade, I think there were only maybe 100 students. Like 57th graders, 58th graders. But I remember it was weird because like I was so used to like an actual cafeteria and stuff. This was like it definitely looked like a break room. Like obviously they had expanded it to fit more people, but it was like a break room. I knew nobody there. So my first day of 7th grade, I was just terrified. Because it's like, yo, I know absolutely nobody here. This is basically an online school. But I do remember that the first day was also whenever we signed up for clubs, and I signed up for the video game design club. Um, and even though this isn't first day, I remember our main goal was to make a fighting game in the style of the original Mortal Kombat, where the sprites were like actual pictures of people. So that was our goal, but then again, I wound up moving back to Oklahoma and never got to see that through. Do you remember 7th grade?
I do.
Finally!
I was late.
Ah, yes, late to your first day of school.
Yep. Walked into athletics because athletics was period. I walked in 10 minutes late. They already had all the other kids in the bleachers. And everyone just stopped and looked at me, and I was like, is this the football?
Is this the football? Is this the football?
So that was my first impression to all of my teammates and my coaches.
Oh, God. Ah. Is that it for 7th grade? Is that like the big outstanding detail?
I also met Caleb Brashear during that time.
Okay.
And he and I became friends because both our names were Caleb.
You know, that's the reason I became friends with most Jacobs I've known in my life.
And because Garrett Bacon also was late and showed up at the same time that I did, people thought we were brothers for years.
I mean, to be fair,
blonde guys.
Yeah,
we did
two big blonde guys walking in late at the same time. It's kind of hard to not think that.
Yeah.
All right, so 8th grade. And this is finally whenever I settled in a school that I would stay in for the rest of my school career, Manford Middle School.
Woo!
I had gotten my tonsils removed a week before the first day of school. No, it wasn't even that. It was more... Okay, like, deadass. You know how loud and obnoxious I am right now, right?
Right now?
Well, just like in general. Like, I am a pretty loud and obnoxious person. First day of 8th grade, nobody would have assumed that. I was so quiet, I could barely say anything to anyone. I still remember the first day in choir, too. I had to go tell Miss Lee. I walked up to her, I'm like, hey, so I had my tonsils removed last week. This is really as loud as I can get. I won't be able to sing for the first couple of weeks of class. And she was chill with it. She understood. She's like, okay, just, look over the music whenever we get it, and just carry on whenever you get well enough to sing.
Carry on?
Yeah. Whenever you get well enough to sing, go ahead and sing. And I remember my first day there, I remember walking into lunch, and the popular kids were like, hey, you're new here, right? And I just nodded my head, and they're like, come sit with us today. So this was also, like, 8th grade year was such a weird year. I have to go on a side tangent about 8th grade year real quick. So, I was literally the perfect mix of in with the nerds of the school and in with the popular kids. I was literally nominated in the Prince and Princess of Manford Middle School for the 8th graders. Like, I was nominated for that. And to make it even crazier, out of the couple hundred kids that went to that school that could have been nominated, only 4 girls, I don't know why I said girls like group. Only 4 girls and 4 boys were nominated. So the fact that I was one of the 4 people nominated for that just goes to show that I was kind of in with the popular crowd. And also, my 8th grade formal, I was invited to ride into it on a limo. So, yeah. I I was really in with the popular kids. But yeah, 8th grade. Woo, that's probably when I peaked. I'm not even gonna lie. Do you remember 8th grade?
I do. I was late.
Again?
I was late to athletics again. Coach Hockett was just like, geez, Collins, I thought we were past this.
2 years in a row. 0-2 with showing up on time for your first day. Big fat 0-2. Put the record up. Put it up.
And even by this time, most of the football team like believed me when I said no. Garrett and I are not brothers.
Yeah.
I walk in with a shirt of a pig, and it says, and the pig is leering over a piece of bacon. It says, "Bacon, I am your father," and the bacon going, no. So now I was Bacon's dad, and he was my son for a while. I was Garrett's dad.
Oh my god.
Yep. Jake Landrum was like, "Oh, so he's your son," and it just spread from there.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Okay. So, first day of 9th grade year. Honestly, freshman year is a blur to me, because this was whenever me and you were finally in the same school. Like, whenever I moved to Manford, Caleb was fresh into high school. I was still in 8th grade, so we only saw each other whenever the choir, like, converged for concerts or contests.
Yeah, I didn't like you guys.
Yeah, no,
You guys were
I kind of
filthy, disgusting middle schoolers.
But, honestly, first day of freshman year is kind of a blur. Like, I remember the freshman orientation that was a week before. Like, I remember walking through that, but other than that, I don't really remember much about my first day of freshman year.
Mm.
Do you remember freshman year?
I do. I was late.
God, over 3, ladies and gentlemen. Caleb Collins is over 3 and showing up on time for your first day at school.
If I'm late, so is everybody else in my family, which means Tristan was also late for 3 years in a row.
Fat L. Fat L.
I think Liam started going to school too, and he was late.
Just walk into athletics. Oh, wait, no. Athletics was in the afternoon, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, not only was I late, but because they dropped off Liam first and then made their way down the road in order to, they dropped off the high schoolers last. So I was 20 minutes late. So I had to go get a slip and everything on my first day.
Damn.
And my first day was literally me getting lost. And also freshman orientation. You know how they give you your lockers and your combination?
Yeah.
I forgot the combination to my locker. And you know how they have them stored up in the office?
Yeah.
I went to the office 4 times that day to get the combination to my locker. And they're like, "Why didn't you just write it down?" It's like, my notebook that it's written down in is in the locker.
God damn it. Of course it would be. All right.
So then I got the bright idea to I carry my backpack around, and that's why you notice that I carried around my backpack like around a lot during my sophomore, junior, and senior year to almost every class. I did that so I didn't have to remember my combination.
Well, see, here's the funny thing. So sophomore year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never even claimed a locker. I did not claim a locker sophomore through senior year, just because again, with my horrible concept of time, I was always afraid of being late to class because I had to stop by my locker. So instead, I would just carry like 20 pounds on my back every day. You know, that's probably why I have such bad back pain at 22. Like, okay, I'm pretty sure 20 pounds is not going to cause that bad of back pain. But yeah, I never claimed a locker. But then first day, again, it's just kind of a blur. Like, I don't remember freshman and sophomore year very well. Do you remember? Please tell me you're 0-4.
I don't remember my sophomore year.
God damn it. Okay. The streak is ambiguous. All
Yeah.
right. All right. So junior year, I remember because this is also whenever I started going to tech. And this was
Hmm.
also whenever beginning of the year, I was immediately named section leader for I think it was the tenors because you were the basses that year.
Hmm.
So I remember Miss Glass immediately naming us the section leaders first fucking day. Um,
I mean, can you blame her?
no, because like no disrespect to anybody in the choir. Just kidding. Some of y'all were ass and you fucking know it.
We were the only ones who knew what the hell we were doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I somewhat knew piano, but Caleb definitely knew piano. So like whenever Miss Glass wasn't there and we had a sub, we would basically say fuck you to the sub. Me and Caleb were teaching that day. Right? It was our job to be teachers whenever Miss Glass wasn't there, or whenever she was so fed up with everybody's bullshit that she just couldn't do it. And me and Caleb were like, well, we're not wasting a day, so cause I'm sorry, junior and senior year choir, so many people joined it just so they could get a fine arts credit. Whenever they could have easily joined appreciation of music. They held us back.
Music appreciation is just, and it's the people that join choir and they're like, I don't like singing this kind of music, I don't like singing in a group, and I don't like wearing the uniforms, and I don't like going to concerts. Why?
Dude, like it was nuts. But yeah, so aside from that little instance with us immediately becoming section leaders junior year, I went to tech for the first time. That was whenever I
Mhm.
started going for interactive multimedia. And I
Mhm.
remember our first day there, my teacher, Mr. Akala, really great guy. Fun fact, he actually commented on my million view TikTok. Um, and uh it was just a really fun time. That was before we really got to work with anything. I remember our first day, we immediately got a photo assignment, but we didn't get to use the actual cameras. We got to use iPads. And he was just like, run around the school, take pictures, pick your favorite 10. We're going to come back and review them as a class. Good luck. And I'm just like, okay. And obviously all of our pictures were shit because we didn't know proper things. And also smartphone cameras, great thing, horrible for actual photography. Like if you want to do photography or you enjoy having photos, it's gonna cost you a couple $100, but get an actual camera. It's worth it in the long run, especially if it's something you think you want to do. Like I've been trying to do a lot more photography lately with summer, and I love it so much. So like it's worth the investment. But yeah, that was my first day of junior year. Is the ambiguous streak continuing?
I was late.
Yeah, baby! Woo! That's what I've been waiting for. The streak is now 0-4 with a heavy asterisk and put 1 year missing records. God damn it.
This one I remember because the reason we were late is because mom like bought us all new clothes for school and she made us stop and take pictures before we were
Oh my
already
god.
running late. And
Mom would do that.
she she made us go into the forest and take pictures of us in our fancy school
I
clothes.
remember
And we
seeing
were
those too.
late.
I remember
We
seeing
were
those.
late.
I opened Facebook whenever I got home that day, and I just saw the post, the sappy, stereotypical parent post. Oh, my sweet
Mhm.
baby started their new year of school this year, and I'm just like, these look early in the morning. Did she stop for a photo op before they
Yep.
drove to school?
Yep. Literally, we didn't plan that. She was just like, "Oh yeah, we need to get pictures. Go." So we were just late, and I was like, "Mom, we're gonna be late." She said, "I don't care." And it just started arranging us. Uh,
Oh, dude, that's
other than
amazing.
other than that, I remember literally walking in and my first period, they were like, "Yeah, you're not on my list," and so I had to go to the counselor. She's like, "Oh yeah, I changed your schedule."
The day of?
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yep. So I had a new schedule that I had to do the day, and I found out, and I was just like,
So you were gonna be late either way. Like, you were just kind of boned.
yeah. If you think about it like that, maybe the real late was the photos we took before the food trip.
That's like
Uh,
amazing.
Yeah, I told Tristan about that, and he was just like, he did that, Tristan.
Mm-hmm. All right, so senior year. Oh my
Mhm.
god. I remember the first day of choir genuinely telling people, if you're not here to sing, leave. Like, those were my first words to the choir that year. Like, I wanted to blow up. I wanted to just stand up and be like, you're gonna hold us back in competitions. You are going to be the weak link and you are going to drag us down. If you are not here to do what you're supposed to do, get out. Go to a different fine arts class.
Hell yeah.
And I remember before going to choir, my first hour, I had Mrs. Gleason for English. I love Mrs. Gleason because I remember the first day she was talking about how this is our senior year. We are fourth in inches. She started bringing up football, and then she started playing a Lil Wayne song that repeated fourth in inches over and over. And I'm just like, damn, this is it. Like, it was finally just the realization of, oh my god, I'm actually about to be graduating this year, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I expected to be dead. I don't know how I would have died, but I did not expect to live past high school. Uh, let alone being 22, being the co-host of the hit podcast, Those Nerds on a Podcast.
Yep. Hit.
Wednesdays, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. Uh, but yeah, that first hour really gave me the realization of, holy shit, you know, all of what I've been used to my entire life of getting up, going to school, seeing friends, doing classes, going home, doing homework, and then hanging out with friends again, that was about to be gone.
Mm.
Uh, and I remember having sort of like not a full-on anxiety attack, but like definitely a lighter one where it's like I forgot to breathe for a few seconds. And I did that thing whenever I get really bad anxiety attacks, even though this one wasn't as bad, where my entire existence and my entire point on Earth just flashes in my head. Like, I have a thought span that lasts what feels like 30 minutes in the span of 30 seconds. You know, that's what happened during the first hour of school. And then whenever choir came around again, I basically told people, get the fuck out. And then
Did
uh
anybody actually get the fuck out?
we lost 2 students the next day.
Good.
Like, I really hate being that guy, but like, if you're gonna join something that involves competition, like choir, if you're gonna join a sports team and not want to put in the effort, just get out. Okay, it's not worth your time. It's not worth your classmates slash teammates time, and it's not worth your instructor's time. Get out if you're just gonna be wasting people's time. But I remember going to tech, and you know, he sent the first years off. Mr. Akala sent the first years off to do the same assignment, just iPad pictures. Come back with your favorite 10. And then the second years, he was basically like, yeah, we're gonna pick up like nothing ever happened and we didn't leave off on anything. Film students, I want you to start script writing for a short film. Photo students, I want you to go out with actual cameras and to see how you've sharpened your skills over the summer. Animation students, I want you to make a very simple 10-second animation and go. Okay. Shit I'm used to right there. But yeah, that was my first day of senior year. Caleb,
Wow.
are we about to go 0-5 asterisk?
I was 15 minutes early.
1-4. Again,
Yeah.
with an asterisk because we still don't know about 1 year.
The reason why we were 15 minutes early is because I was in charge.
And see, I
Every
remember that actually now. I remember seeing you in the lunchroom, and I was like,
Mhm.
why are you already here?
Yeah, I was just like, we are going. I didn't do what I normally did and like banged on my mom's door in order to wake her up. I went in there and I shook her, which is something you typically don't do
Dude,
unless
that's
you
how
want
you
to.
get punched.
This is how you start hearing about the Bosnians if you start shaking mom when she's not ready.
Yeah, dude, if you so much as breathe in her direction before she's had her coffee, you are dead.
I'm so glad that you know this.
I mean, again, she's practically my mom too. I have to know this, right?
Uh,
Like,
you know she actually likes you if it's before her coffee. You're like, "Hi, mom, how are you?" And then she just breathes fire in your face like a dragon.
yeah,
Which,
or just like sort of begrudgingly, just like, good morning. I need a minute. I that happened to me once. That was whenever I learned. I'm like, okay, never doing that again. I'm not gonna talk to her until like after 12 o'clock.
yeah,
Oh man, you were early though. Fuck yeah.
yeah.
Anything else happen your first day of senior year?
I remember. I remember being very tired, and I also remember being very excited because I didn't have any math classes that year, and I had three social studies classes.
Dude, same. I had no math classes my senior year, and it was bliss.
And I'm a history buff, so I had U.S. history and I had world history, and then I had AP history all in the same year, and I was a flying. I love history. I'm such a history. You can ask my wife. I literally watch hour-long history documentaries about nothing that I would ever need. Like I know more
Here's
about
this
Belgian
goat from
weapons.
1804.
Not only that, I could tell you about Belgian weapon systems if you wanted to, and why there are little white spaces in between their camouflage. I can tell you about that because I watched a YouTube video about it.
Hell
Long story
yeah.
short, that white's not supposed to be there. The guy that printed it fucked it up, but it was too expensive to fix.
I mean,
Because
that's
they already
fair.
made it for their whole army, so they're just like, oh, ooh, mm.
Hell yeah. Dude, is it bad that I actually kind of miss school?
Yes, get a hobby. Go back to tech school.
So, uh, we are at an hour 12 right now.
Oh geez, we need to
Do
go
you have a
do the
nerd out before we leave?
no, no.
Okay. Well, that was definitely an interesting card to get. God damn.
Yeah?
I still hate that I remember my friend Savannah admitting to me in Roblox, username Zappy08 in the Sweet Life on Deck roleplay world, that she was into me. There was a lot revealed this podcast, and it is definitely going to come back to bite me in the ass
The
somehow.
Jacob's Roblox girlfriend and his 30-minute shits.
Yeah! Yeah!
All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry this was a bit of a longer one, but I definitely wanted to just get through the entire trap card that Caleb drew there. But yeah, I now have to immediately set this to upload. So, hope everyone has a great day. We'll see you guys next week whenever we have our boy Diabetic Dan on the podcast. And yeah, see you guys.